The Democratic frontrunner Bernie Sanders has been accused of being a Russian stooge while trading blows with the billionaire Michael Bloomberg during a dramatic debate. Democratic presidential candidates have taken the stage for the last time before the pivotal Super Tuesday primaries, where more than a third of delegates are awarded across popular states like Texas and California. After a bruising debate in Las Vegas last week, Michael Bloomberg sought to turn the tables on Bernie Sanders by referencing reports the current frontrunner is Russia's preferred candidate.
The economy is doing really great for people like Mr. Bloomberg and other billionaires.
Mayor Bloomberg, I'll let you respond to that. Do you think Senator Sanders' economy would be better for America than President Trump?
I think that Donald Trump thinks it would be better if he's president. I do not think so. Vladimir Putin thinks that Donald Trump should be president of the United States, and that's why Russia is helping you get elected so you'll lose to him.
Let me tell Mr. Putin, okay, I'm not a good friend of President Xi of China.
Elizabeth Warren, meanwhile, escalated her attacks against former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Last week, she targeted him for his company's use of non-disclosure agreements. This time, in an extraordinary attack, she accused the billionaire of pressuring a pregnant employee to have an abortion.
I don't care how much money Mayor Bloomberg has. The core of the Democratic Party will never trust him. He has not earned their trust. When I was 21 years old, I got my first job as a special education teacher. I loved that job. And by the end of the first year, I was visibly pregnant. The principal wished me luck and gave my job to someone else. Pregnancy discrimination, you bet. But I was 21 years old, I didn't have a union to protect me, and I didn't have any federal law on my side. So I packed up my stuff and I went home. At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, kill it, the way that Mayor Bloomberg
never
alleged
said that.
to have said to one of his pregnant employees.
Despite being the Democratic frontrunner, there was noticeably less love in the audience for Bernie Sanders, who was booed on 2 occasions when he targeted his rivals.
Mayor Bloomberg has a solid and strong and enthusiastic base of support. Problem is, they're all billionaires. Now, if you look... Well, you know, Joe has voted for terrible trade agreements. No. You talk about
South Carolina heads to the polls on Saturday, where Joe Biden is hoping to win the majority of the 54 delegates up for grabs and save his campaign after poor showings in Iowa and New Hampshire. Let's go live to Charleston in South Carolina now. CNN reporter Nadia Ramiro joins us. Nadia, what's the sense on the ground there? Is Biden making this comeback?
Karen, he had a strong debate performance. You could tell that Joe Biden showed up with a chip on his shoulder and that he had something to prove tonight. He knows the electorate here in South Carolina. It is 60% black in the Democratic Party in South Carolina, and Joe Biden has been working with them for a long time. So he talked about his bills that he helped get pushed through when he was a senator. He talked about the relationships that he built when he was vice president under Barack Obama, and he had a strong performance tonight. So all of the candidates are trying to pitch themselves. If you take a look behind me, you can see Tom Steyer is right here on the spin room floor. This is where all the candidates come to after the debate, and it's called the spin room for that reason. They spin their debate performance, how they did on the stage. Tom Steyer is heading out. Elizabeth Warren made her way onto the spin room floor doing interviews, as well as a lot of the other candidates. Bernie Sanders came out for some interviews, but he didn't stay here too long.
The Super Tuesday looming next week. How much is at stake? Is this next week or so basically pivotal in deciding who is going to be the Democratic nominee?
Absolutely. When you look at Iowa and New Hampshire, here in South Carolina, they have almost twice as many delegates as those states combined. I mean, really just tiny states with not that many delegates to go for. So South Carolina, if Joe Biden could get a lot of the delegates here, he is back in the race. And then there's Super Tuesday, which is 3 days later, next Tuesday, a week from today. And that's where 14 states, including California and Texas, two of the largest states in the union, that's when they get to be a part of this primary election. And just think, California has more than 400 delegates. If you can win the majority of the states on Super Tuesday, you're a third of the way to the party's nomination. And that's why Michael Bloomberg has put $500 million and TV ads in those 14 states so that he can win the majority and be the front runner.